Fellas, how we doing? BF6 has been a commercial juggernaut since it came out almost 2 weeks ago. I've been having a blast checking out all the new weapons, gadgets, and maps, and like many of you, I have not been able to escape the pull of the goddamn algorithm, directing me to all these creators making an endlessly expanding universe of guides. I've been playing Battlefield for more than a decade now, but even if you're a new member of our Battlefield community, you can tell a lot of these stress-addled, sleepless gurus have little of value to add to the conversation. But have no worries, fellas. I'm coming to the rescue. I'm starting a new series giving you practical advice, setups, and strategies that'll help you improve at your game and most importantly, have fun regardless of skill level. Since not all of us have condensed a year of progression to a fortnight, I'm going to start with a fan favorite gun from the beta that is unlocked super early in BF6, the M417 A2. Those of you who have played the beta, like me, know its power. It was a personal favorite of mine there, and even though there are a ton of powerful weapons that have been added, I still found myself going back to it. To the point that somehow, and I'm not entirely sure how, I'm in the top 2% of users in terms of kills, even though I have only about 1,000 kills with it. This tells me the M417 is being underutilized. That's a shame. It's pretty good. I understand that the M4A1 may seem, approachable, extremely strong, maybe too strong, but the M417 is an important stepping stone to the other 33 damage guns. And the 33 damage guns in this game are really good. So, if you want to be unlocking the later carbines, I'd recommend switching it up and giving the M417 a try. With that out of the way, let's start with the basics. The M417 has a 20 round magazine. Already, this is a bad start. This is lower than other options, but is made up for by its defining characteristic. It is in the high damage tier of automatic weapons in BF6. It does 33 damage up close and tapers off to 20 in its maximum range. This is a bit misleading, however, as even though the stats say it does 33 damage up close, it actually does 33.34 damage, I think. I'm honestly not sure. But you can get a 3-shot kill within 10 meters. A bit of a side note, but this actually applies to every single 33 damage gun in this game. 33 damage is not the real number because they all 3-shot at between 10 and 20 meters. Depending on the gun, of course. In our case, it's up to 10 meters, which is still pretty damn good considering the M417 fires at 654 rounds per minute. So, in close range, you'll be deleting people, shredding them. In between 10 and 30 meters, it drops off to a 4-bullet kill, which is actually still very quick when you consider other options, like for instance the M4A1, which drops off to a 5-shot and then a 6-shot in that same range. On top of all of this, the M417 is aided by an above average muzzle velocity of 600 meters per second. In this game, that's pretty quick for assault rifles, especially ones of a damage model like the M417s. And this is firmly in the good enough category and surely will not hold you back at range. What might hold you back though is the recoil. It's not too hard to control, but the visual effect in the horizontal recoil is high enough that placing 5 shots at range is easier said than done without a bit of practice. There are some guns in this game where you can kind of just start using them immediately and you'll be just crushing people. But this is a gun that takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of patience. Now, let's discuss a BF6 favorite, spread. I have been hearing so much about this, people complaining about it, people saying it shouldn't be in the game. Listen, I'm here to tell you, it's a good mechanic. Frankly, it limits the amount that you could beam from range when covering open ground. It introduces a bit of skill to how you actually fire your weapon, so you can't just beam people. You gotta practice bursts and micro bursts. But for those new to Battlefield, I'm gonna explain what it is. And particularly those who have not played Battlefield 4. Spread increase per shot is one of the most important statistics a weapon have. It is the amount, in degrees, that a weapon's point of aim expands per additional shot before spread reset kicks in. Combined, spread and spread reset determine your accuracy in a burst and the speed at which your accuracy returns to 100%, respectively. At this point, nobody has the actual numbers. So I will try to infer the relative strength of spread from gameplay and testing in the firing range. With that yap sesh out of the way, how is the spread on the M417? From what I've experienced, pretty good actually. You can absolutely hose people at even 50 meters or so if your initial shot selection is good. But beyond that, you'll really want to be microbursting or using 2 to 3 rounds of tap fire. You'll be surprised at how far the RAF of the M417 can reach, but as mentioned previously, it'll take a little bit of practice. So, what have we learned? Well, the M417 A2 is a heavy hitter with a fantastic time to kill within barrel stuffing range, but it still maintains the upper hand against most weapons to 30 meters. Its minimum damage, spread, and muzzle velocity are adequate to punish players at range, but you will be limited by how well you can control the recoil. Its magazine size also leaves room for improvement. So let's move on to attachments to see how we can make the M417 live up to its full potential. For the grip, the choice I think is easy here. I went with the full angled grip. And that's after trying pretty much every single other grip worth using. So I spent some time with the alloy vertical, the ribbed, the 6H, 6.4, the folding stubby, and also some of these expensive, canted and stippled stubbies. But the thing is, the full angled provides just enough of what you want, and then some other benefits that are also very important. So what do I mean by that? I mean, it provides just enough recoil control that it tames some of the wild bouncing so that you can actually manually control the recoil well enough to, beam people out to pretty good range. But also, you get a 167 millisecond ADS speed, which is, I think, crucial on the M417 because it's a precision weapon. You gotta get your big bullets on target as fast as possible. And the thing is, in this game, if you start shooting even a millisecond before you're actually officially ADS'd, you get hit with a pretty massive spread penalty. And so you end up asking yourself, what's up with the spread? What's up with the hit reg? Which the hit reg, a little bit spotty, boys. We can all agree on that. But this will help you be more consistent and actually get your bullets to where you want them to go. And the last thing the full angle does is increases your weapon draw speed. This stat, I think, also makes a big change in this game because you're always switching between gadgets, and for me in particular, I main engineer. I play engineer 99% of the time, and switching between my rocket launcher and then my M417 when I want to take out people in close range just real quick when they're running up on me, I think makes a big difference. I mean, this game takes place at such a fast pace. The speed is just so frantic that any advantage in reactivity you can glean, it'll just pay dividends. So full angle is what I went with. Next, the muzzle. This one also a bit of a no-brainer. I went with the standard suppressor. The thing is, you don't need the extra recoil control from the lightened suppressor because the recoil is fine enough with the full angled. And the thing is, the standard suppressor fully hides in-world spotting and reduces the range at which you're spotted on the minimap. So, what does that mean? Outside of 15 meters on the minimap, people will not be able to see you. So you can kill people without ever being seen. It just leads to longer kill streaks. Just pretty easy to grasp. But the in-world spotting is where things get interesting. BF6 has, in my opinion, a pretty horrible change, pretty new feature to the series, where if you shoot a gun without a flash hider or a suppressor, you get a big orange diamond above your head without ever being physically spotted. This is crazy. Listen, if you're into, 40 dudes crossing streams the moment you grace the battlefield with your bullets, then by all means, don't run the flash hider or suppressor. But if you want to, not rip your hair out, then please use a suppressor or at least a flash hider. There are very few weapon setups in this game that actually do benefit from some of these other breaks here. Next, the barrel itself, I went with the 16.5 rifle extended. It just kind of makes sense. I had the 5 points, and the thing is, this gun is pretty good at range, and taking your muzzle velocity from 600 to 750 will just make placing those long range shots a little bit easier, which I think makes sense based on the intended engagement ranges you can actually get up to with this gun. Top rail. The green laser, I think, is the way to go. The thing is, I've played enough BF4 that I can toggle the green laser on and off whenever I need to really just make sure I'm not visible to enemies. I just toggle it at the last possible moment when I need it and just beam people in close range. But if you don't care about laser visibility, you know, this is also a good choice. However, if you care about being visible and also you don't want to bother with learning how to toggle it yourself, use the red laser. I mean, it's objectively worse, right? But it's still a completely valid choice. You don't got to think about toggling it. It's always on. It always works. Either of these choices is the correct move here, but I like the green laser. Now for the sight, fellas, this is completely unoriginal. This is a complete stand take. It's the 1X, and it's always the 1X, boys. Come on, let's be real. Let's be real here. The thing is, this gun does have a bit of visual recoil, and the 1X tames that a bit, and this gun is kind of best in that 0 to 30 meter range. You can extend farther, and you know, you will in game, but the 1X provides the best awareness and the best control at those ranges, so I think it makes the most sense. If you have maybe not the best eyesight, or maybe the monitor or TV is far away from you, I did find success using the 1.75x, which is a very good sight in this game, super clear. Another option is the 1.5x hollow. As you saw in some of the earlier gameplay, I was using that for a while. If you're a real super freak, rock the 2x, but that ain't me. Your mileage may vary. Now, you may be asking yourself, why do you stick with standard ammo when hollow points are available? The thing is, hollow points on this gun do kind of make sense because they take you from a 3-shot to a 2-shot headshot within 10 meters. This is very strong, but frankly, I'm not Chris Kyle. I'm not out here in close range, you know, thinking like, oh my god, I'm gonna beam these guys' heads real quick to increase my TTK by like 60 milliseconds or whatever it is. The thing is, if you shoot first with this gun in close range, you're gonna win anyways. 3 shots at 654 RPM is a mighty fast TTK as it is. But on other 33 damage guns, I do sometimes run the hollow points. Just on this one, I think you gotta sacrifice a little bit too much to do that. But for you guys who do want to run the hollow points, I do have a second build of this gun that includes them. All I did was I removed the green laser and I removed the extended barrel. So what this is you're going full hog on that kind of close range gameplay of this gun. So if you have good aim and you intend to stick mostly to close range, and you know, you can still beam people out to long range with this, don't get me wrong, right? 600 meters per second, nothing to sneeze at. But it's just not my preferred playstyle. I think the laser and the barrel are a little bit too important to give up for a situational increase in TTK. But anyways, let's take it out the firing range. I just want to show y'all some of the recoil control. Like, this gun just kind of beams. Like, it just works exactly how you want it to work. The spread isn't too bad. Even at range, you can delete people. Like, obviously, you gotta practice a little bit. Like, you can't really totally hold down the trigger at, like, that super long range. But with a bit of tapping, a little bit of practice, people just get kind of deleted. Before I leave you, I want to make something clear. The M417 is by no means a meta marauder in Battlefield 6, but it does the job and it looks damn good doing it. As I was talking about earlier, I consider it a bit of a stepping stone to get to the other 33 damage guns in this game, a couple of which I aim to make guides for next. If you have any questions, want to share your experience and setup with the M417, have any requests for upcoming guides, or simply want to share some feedback, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I aim to provide thoughtful, non-slopified BF6 videos to you guys from the perspective of a Battlefield veteran, even though that term is goofy as hell. Anyways, take it easy, sayonara, and see you on the battlefield.